Hi, everybody, and welcome. I am just loving today and the energy that it's moving through today. We have a beautiful moon in Taurus, which is just so ooey gooey, slow, and purposeful. And that is what just makes my heart sing with that. So go ahead and place in the chat where you're from. And we're just going to wait a few minutes before we go ahead and get started with some live card readings. I love seeing where everybody is popping in this beautiful global world that we have. Hey, Patty. Ooh, I hope Canada is amazing right now. I would love to make it up there sometime just to see the leaves, right? The leaves start to fall. And change colors and all of that kind of good stuff. I just love that about this time of year. I'm not going to lie. I am not a summer person. I would so much rather have fall and just the smells and the colors and all that. Hey, Tiffany from Ohio. I love it. Ooh, thanks, Patty. It's so beautiful. It is beautiful here too. Yeah, so we're just going to let some more people come in before we go ahead and get started on any readings. But let me just see here. Okay, hold on. I just want to scroll through that for just a moment. If you're new to this show, thank you so much for popping in. My name is Jeanette Peters, and, well, I call myself a mystical alchemist. And that's really just because I use a lot of different modalities when I'm doing readings. Sometimes it's cards, numerology, astrology, mediumship comes through. I just have a lot of different tools in my toolbox. So I just thought, hey, why not? And, well, I had a cat. Her name was Mystical Moon. And when she passed away, I was heartbroken. So part of her name is in my title as well, because she was definitely somebody very special to me. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Keep saying where you're from. Oh, hello, Barbara. How are you doing this afternoon? All right. So lovely to see you guys all here today. Okay. All right. So again, if you would like a reading, you can just go ahead and pop a 1 in the comments. You can feel free to put a question next to that 1 as well. Just, if you had a little bit more that you kind of wanted to get from that. And if that reading resonates with you, you can go ahead and put a little heart. So we're going to go ahead and get started and pull cards in just a moment here. But before we do that, I mean, if you know me, if you've been on this show before, I like to take a few minutes just to do a little bit of grounding. Okay. Just grounding, centering, getting all of our energy in alignment here. Oh, so glad that you guys are all good, Barbara. That's awesome. Yes. Oh, anything Spirit has to say. Yes, Patty. Okay. All right. So let's just take a moment. Close your eyes if you can. Take a nice deep breath in, feeling your feet ground down into the crystal core of Mother Earth, if that's accessible to you. And if not, just having that sensation of really settling into the space that we're inhabiting with our body right now. Exhaling, letting it out. And then again, as you inhale, draw that breath in, now reaching all the way up towards the heavens, opening up that space, allowing Spirit to come down and work with us for our highest and best intention. Okay, nice deep breath in and out. Okay, and so it is. Hi, Lee from Pennsylvania. It's so lovely for you to be here today as well. Okay, so again, if you would like to have a card pulled for you, go ahead and place a run in the chat and maybe put a question next to it, and I'll pull a card. But we are going to start with Miss Patty here. Hi, Marianne. How are you? Write down my name so I don't forget. All right, Miss Patty, let's see here. What is it that Spirit is coming in to share with you on this beautiful day? You know what's really interesting is automatically as I'm shuffling these cards and connecting in, I have this beautiful image of, just a boat sitting on the water, watching all of the trees change colors. But it's not like a big boat. It's kind of like what you would use. It could be considered like a canoe, but it's not a canoe. But I hope you know what I'm talking about. It's metal. And it's like you're just sitting in this metal boat, staring up at the sky and watching the colors on the leaves change. And it's just a really beautiful vision to uphold. So let's see what Spirit is saying to that and bringing forward to that. Ooh, I got a card that just jumped out. We're going to put that to the side for a moment here. And let's see here. Okay. All right. So here's the card that fell out, was Peace upside down. And then we have Never Ending Story also upside down. So I'm going to just move these out of the way. Okay, Patty. That way you can see these two cards. I'm using the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. And I just love how these Oracle card decks, how all of her Oracle card decks tell a story. And Patty, what I'm picking up for you is like, you're in this process of, okay, it's starting to make a lot of sense now. It's like being in this process of letting go, right? Staring up at the vastness. And, that image that I first saw when I was shuffling the cards for you is sitting in this boat, staring up the vastness of the skies and watching the leaves fall down. Okay. And then having this sense of, where are you going to find that peace? Where are you going to find that centered feeling for you? And this is a great question to maybe possibly journal on over the next few days, because we're still in this phase of the full moon releasing and letting go before that new moon starts to come up. Next week, I believe it's on the 12th. So this is a really good time period to say, okay, hold on a second. What do I still need to let go of? How can I bring more peace and serenity into my life? So I hope that made sense to you. Take some time in the next few days to journal on that and let it get out of you before that new moon comes in. We have those fresh intentions beginning to come into play starting next week. Okay. If that makes sense to you, go ahead and just drop a little heart. I was going to say a card, but that doesn't make sense. Maybe you can do a card emoji. I don't know. But thank you for that heart, Patty. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. All right. All right. Hi, Presh. How are you? Okay. Yes, I will go ahead and pull a card for you. Okay. Tiffany, I will take you next. Okay. So, Presh, let's see here. Is that a little strawberry emoji? I love that. I really should put my glasses on. That's a beautiful little strawberry. Okay. So what do you need to know for your highest good as you continue to move through, this day, this time period, or, what it is that you're working with? Let's see here. Okay. So again, here we have a great message here. Presh, this is new life, but it's in an upside down position. So when cards are in a reverse position, especially with this deck, it doesn't necessarily mean that things aren't working out for you. It's just meaning you need to step back, take a deep breath, and kind of reassess the situation. Kind of understand, what are your next steps? How can you get this to turn around where you feel that new life, right? But it also is a reminder that spirit is here, right? Holding your hand and helping to guide you. So don't be afraid to look over your shoulder or to talk aloud to spirit and say, hey, can you help me with this? And right when I jumped on, I kind of shared a little bit about where the moon is today. And the moon is in this lovely earth sign of Taurus. And if you are a Taurus individual or have a lot of Taurus in your chart, this may be a day that you just are falling in love with, because it's really close to your soul and you can feel the energy and the sturdiness of it and the just the beauty of it moving through you. So that is like kind of how I'm seeing you working with this energy, is take it slow. Make sure as you become that butterfly and come out of that cocoon that, all that ooey gooiness is really, all about you and nobody else. Okay. So Presh, let me know if that, made sense to you. You can put a little heart in the chat. I'd appreciate it. Okay. Perfect. Okay, I'm coming up here, right? Yes, if you'd love a card pulled for you, just go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat. And you can also put a little question next to it if you'd like. So Tiffany, this is for you. The question is just what's going on in the next few months for business or anything like that. Okay, yeah, let's focus in on it. Let's see what comes up. Okay, business or anything else, Tiffany. Okay, let's see what spirit is trying to say here. Okay, again, so this must be a theme today. All right, Tiffany. And, I'm just going to kind of pull it out for everybody, as well. A lot of times when I start to see cards show up in a specific position, maybe they're all turned upside down or maybe they're all upright. It's, just showing that energy that's, floating around each and every one of us right now. And as a collective, again, maybe this has to do with the Taurus moon that we're in today. Maybe it has to do with us coming out of this, intense full moon that we had last week. But this really is a time period for all of us to slow down, focus in on, what we've got growing and how we want to be seen before this new moon comes up next week and plants that intention. And, Tiffany, in the next few months for you, this really could be a great opportunity for you to start to rebrand. Right. Look at, where you're putting all of your energy and attention to in the work that you're doing and see what's working, what's not, and starting to weed out the rest. I think you'll be so glad you did that, because then, you'll start to feel a little bit lighter, and you may realize, oh my gosh, if I wouldn't have taken the time to do that, I would never have had this experience or met this individual. And I'm so glad that I did, because they made things so much richer for me. Okay. So take that time over the next few months. And it's probably pretty great too, anyways, to do that, because if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, like we are, well, like I am, we're starting to head into that fall season, and fall really is about, releasing, letting go, and starting to plant in intentions for what we want to bloom in the spring. So take some time with this. And I'm also getting this really big message too of more you time, right? Take some more time to work. I'm feeling like getting a sensation right here in my throat is to work on it could be your heart, opening up into the emotions, and hold on a second here. Just, really learning how to nourish and take care of yourself. Okay, Tiffany. So I hope that made sense to you. If it did, go ahead and place a heart down in the comments. Okay. Thank you for saying that. Okay. All right, Marianne. All right, Marianne. Let's go ahead and pull a card for you. I saw a little one there. Irene, I'll get to you in just a moment. Okay, perfect. All right, Marianne. Let's see what Spirit is coming forward to share with you today. Let me ask you, I don't know if this makes sense to you, Marianne, but do dolphins mean anything to you? Do you resonate with the magic of dolphins? Thank you so much, Tiffany. I'm so glad. I just getting this image of a dolphin, popping up, and, perhaps it's just a spirit animal message for you in this time. Okay. It's just popping up, and we'll see what it has to say. They are super smart animals, very smart, and I love them. And I have lots of stories about them, but it did pop up. So maybe perhaps something to look at. Okay. All right. I'm going to say you can't make this stuff up. I'm not going to swear on here, but you can't make it up. All of these cards are coming into this reverse position. And I'll tell you, this deck is shuffled in so many different ways, right? We've got upside down cards. We got other cards. Not really, Miriam, but that's okay. Maybe something to look at, right? Oftentimes, if a message doesn't make sense right away, it could just be that it needs to take some time to sink in. So when we're put on the spot or, asked a question, it takes us, a moment to go, oh, wait a second here. Hold on, that does make sense. And it could make sense, tomorrow. Who knows? But just keep it in the back of your head. Look at dolphin. And then we have here, to be fair. Okay, Marianne. So to be fair in the reversed position. This is really, I think, about you honoring yourself and honoring the relationships that you have. This to me is a very Libra type card where you're kind of balancing the scales. We have on this, you're not gonna be able to see it as well, but it's an egg and it's a fortune cookie. And I want to do this to open it up, but I can't do that because this is a card and not my phone. But on the little fortune cookie, it says nope in it. Okay. So you have this egg and then you have this fortune cookie and you're getting weighed here. So this type of energy is like, okay, how are you being fair to yourself? Are you in the right relationships? It could be, dynamics in the family. It could be dynamics with friends, or just in, a social situation with that. Where's the newness coming? Where is the respectability coming? I don't think respectability is a word, but maybe we'll just make it a word today. Okay. So let's take a moment for you to step back, Marianne, and just say, how are you honoring yourself? How are you honoring the energy that's going around you? Are you taking the time to really make sure that you are in healthy situations with individuals in your peripheral? And if you're not, where you can kind of back away a little bit, but then also take that a step further and about the conversations that you could be playing in your mind. What keeps coming through that maybe needs to stop? right? So these conversations that maybe just keep coming up, right? Allow yourself some opportunity here to, give yourself some grace as things start to move and heal within your world. Okay. So, and maybe that's where the dolphin is, right? That gentleness, that gracefulness. So I hope that made sense to you, Marianne. Feel free to drop in the chat a little heart if that did. And if it didn't, that's okay too, because it's just an opportunity for us to, journal on what's going on and maybe why that energy is showing up. Okay. All right. Irene, let's see here. What do we got going on here? Write this down. Okay. All right. What do you need to know for your highest good? What is the message that Spirit is coming in and popping in to share with you? Okay, here we go. Again, you're welcome, Marianne. Round and round. So I love this card because this card, again, is one of these opportunities to say, hey, Spirit is knocking on your shoulder. Are you turning around to listen? Are you letting it to come in? Hey, Katie, what is drawing you back into similar situations? And what do you just need to say no to so you can continue moving forward and stop? I don't want to say making the same mistakes, because that's not the right word, the right phrase I want to use. But, when you see what, hold on just a moment. I'm sorry. This is my process, guys, is that I have to stop. I have to listen. I have to see what Spirit is trying to express, from me to this. So it's almost like, finding yourself in the same rut and doing the same thing and getting the same results. So where do you want to put that, coin in to say, hey, I'm done with that and let me move on to the next level, right? That type of situation, Spirit's like, hey, you need to move, you need to level up. Stop going backwards and trying to refine, move forward and just allow things to start coming through. Okay. Does that make sense to you? I hope it does. Cause it's like this idea of, going back into old habits. That's probably the better phrase that I wanted to use, is going back into old habits. And we don't want to go back into old habits. You are ready to take that next step, however that is going to resonate with you. So please take it and move forward. Okay. I'm so glad to hear that made sense to you. Okay, perfect. All right, Leah, let's go ahead and pull a card for you. All right. What do you need to know for your highest good? How is this moving forward? Hello, Deb. I saw you pop in there. And then Katie, you'll be next. Okay, Leah, what do you need to know? Okay, I just got one card that popped out. Usually I don't use them, but oh my gosh, you can't make this stuff up. Darn it, right? Okay. You saw me shuffling these cards, right? Again, this is just Spirit. If you didn't know, Spirit has a sense of humor. And a lot of times Spirit will come in and just like, show you something 2 or 3 times. And it's like, okay, I got the message. I got it. And then all of a sudden Spirit's like, you're not getting the message. I am going to, maybe throw some more at you. And then all of a sudden you're getting smacked upside the head by like a cosmic 2x4. So all of these cards, like I said, have been coming up in this reverse position, but now we've got repeat cards. And while I just had a conversation with Irene about round and round, Leah, I think this card is a little bit different for you, because this is more about, trusting yourself. These 2 cards together is trusting yourself that you're not going to make the same mistakes, what you think are the same mistakes. But when in reality, Spirit is saying these were just little correction points for you and lessons that you just needed to learn and really take into your heart and into your soul. And don't be scared of that. Don't be upset by that. Flip the script upside down for you and just realize that, okay, you've learned what you needed to learn. And now is the time to move forward. And I mentioned this earlier. We've got a new moon coming up next week on the 12th. Use this next week, because the 12th is next Wednesday. Use this next week to really just give yourself time to, go through what you've learned, maybe journal about it a little bit, understand what it means to you, and then just set it free so that you can start planning these new intentions for a new growth. Because honestly, girl, you're done. You're done with this cycle, and know that it happened for a reason. It's okay. You don't have to try to, dissect it and figure out why it happened. Just let it be, right? You've got this. Okay, Leah. So I hope that made sense to you. If it did, again, go ahead and drop a little comment, a little heart in the chat, and we'll go from there. Okay, Katie, this one is for you. All right. What is it you need to know for your highest good? Yes. If you'd like a reading, for sure, please just drop a little 1 in the comments, and we'll go from there. Okay, Katie. Let's see. Okay. That one didn't want to pop out completely, but there. Okay, Leah. So glad that made sense to you. Okay, Katie. Just does not want me to stop shuffling it. Give me just a moment, and we'll see what's coming up. All right. I'm going to have to put these cards down in just a minute, because this is just blowing my mind how all of these cards have come up in either the reverse position or the same cards have shown up. So, Katie, for you. All right. This is a similar message that I kind of brought forward earlier, but I want to... Okay. I'm going to ask a question, and you can, if you can choose to respond to it or not, or just, go with it, leave the message. It's just that, for you, this new life is kind of getting in track, in it more in a healthy way. So I keep getting brought back to this word health. So whatever health means to you, it could be a better diet for yourself. It could be, working with a licensed medical professional, just to do, your routine checkups. It could be emotional health, or that emotional health. So there could be a lot going on here, but it's getting everything wrapped around just for you to be in a space that that you can move forward and come into this new life in a healthier state. So it could be that mind, body, spirit connection, learning how to get all of that together and working, bringing it into one so that you feel whole. Okay. All right, Katie. So I hope that made sense to you. If it did, go ahead and place. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that. I see one from Shelly, and I see one from Barbara. So Shelly, I'm going to go for you first, and then I will go for you, Barbara. Okay, Shelly. Some guidance on healing future. Okay. Oh, I love that. Reiki master plus other roles. You're like a little mystical alchemist too. Lots of stuff going on there. Okay, Shelly. What do you need to know for your highest good? Again, shuffling these cards. Let's see if we can do it again. All right, let's see what else Spirit has to say. Okay, perfect. All right, dudes. I'm just going to put that deck down for now, and let's pick up the good old tarot, because bam. All right, some guidance on the healing future for you. So I guess Shelly, with this one, especially for you talking about, being a Reiki master and plus more, is that are you learning a new sort of modality right now? Or did you just learn something and you're trying to weave it all together to make maybe more of a, a specialized combination for you. What I'm kind of picking up for this is that, wanting to start something new, but still having the process of needing to refine and, add some more to that. Okay. Adding some more. So let's see here. Yeah. Okay. First off, number one, don't be afraid when the tarot cards come up. I use the standard Rider-Waite tarot deck when I do readings just because I love it so much. But here we have the Tower card. And the Tower card for you, right in alignment with new life, is really going to be all about stopping thinking that something has to be a certain way before you proceed. So don't have to, Reiki teacher too. Yes, Shelly. So don't think that everything has to be perfect before you put it out there, because parts of the time that perfection is just what our ego has to say. Nothing is ever perfect. So take a chance, start to let it go, and, watch some of your self-creating restrictions start to fade away for you. Yes. Okay. Trying to get more into your spiritual roles out of my others. Okay. Yes. So letting some other things that aren't you just start to fall away so that as you start to build yourself back up, because that's the beauty of the tower, is that you can say, adios, amigos, and then let it go and then come back into something new. So there's that new life. Okay. That's perfect. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So I hope that made sense to you. Feel free to drop a heart in the comments. I do have Barbara here. I'm going to go ahead and pull a card for you. But I'm not going to use the tarot for you. I'm going to use, let's come back to this oracle deck, okay? Tarot is definitely my passion, guys. I freaking love it so much. And I teach a lot on tarot, with just different aspects of it. But sometimes it's just the oracle cards that I need. And let's see here. I'm glad that we were able to pull that tower card out, Shelly, with the oracle card. All right, Barbara, let's see here. Well, I guess this oracle deck is just had its day, and it's like I'm going to continue showing you guys all the same messages, and boom, I don't know what else to say about that. So let's see here. Let me pull a tarot card to go with this. Okay. All right, Barbara. So for you, my love, what I am, picking up with this idea is really learning how to balance all of the different things that you've got, going on, and how you want things to be more in balance in your life, right? Feeling the same way that you used to feel a lot. Okay. Thank you so much, Shelly. Barbara, trying to mix things up again, and maybe even, seeing how things were in the past. How do you get to this space in the future? How do you get your emotions, your thoughts, your ideals into the right mixture for you? And just making sure that you are happy. This could be learning how to balance, outside relationships with family, with friends. I said this earlier in another reading with this card, but it's understanding what works for you and what doesn't, and not being afraid to say, hey, listen, this is not going to be my cup of tea. I cannot do this, and standing up, right? So that your cups are always full, standing up for yourself, for your ideas, your beliefs, and your relationships, but not doing it in a way that is like, hear me roar. It's just saying no, and then moving on from that. You don't owe anybody an explanation. No is just a no. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's okay. Right? Don't let anybody push you around or make you feel like you have to do something specifically because they said so and they know better than you, because that's not true. Only you know you. So I hope that made sense to you, Barbara. Feel free to drop a little heart in that chat if it does. And if it didn't, that's okay too. Take some time to think about it. Think about how that would show up in your life and what that would mean. And maybe it was just one word that I said. Okay. I had one more on here that I'm going to go ahead and do. That was for Kay about your handyman. Oh, girl, I don't know, but let's see what we got going on. And then I will have to call it. Sorry. Just reading through there real quick. Okay, Kay, let's see here. Let's talk about this handyman. I don't know. These individuals, thank you, Patty. I appreciate that so much. Yay. Okay. All right. So here's my thought on this one is that, Kate, you got to make a choice. You can choose to continue to wait around, or you can say, I'm out of here, and decide to choose a different, path to take with that. I don't know what that, is going to relate to in regards to financial ways of, moving through this energy, but it does see that, you have to make that decision because you are the only one who can do it. You can wait around and wait for him to come back and hope and pray that he does and he fixes everything he needs to fix. Or you can say, I'm sorry, you're fired. I have to go find somebody else. And here is exactly the reason why I left you. I can't tell you either way what to do. You got to figure out what's right, but it is your choice in that matter. And in any which way you choose, though, just know that, the outcome is, going to be the best for you. So if you decide to wait for this handyman, maybe he does the greatest job. Right. And maybe we don't know why he left, but he had to do it and you gave him that space to do it. And that's what your soul needed to do for him. Or you say goodbye. Maybe that was his wake up call and you find the perfect person that works for you. So just know and say that I'm making this intention, this choice for my highest good and for the highest good involved, then, everything will work out. So I hope that was helpful for you. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in. It's been always such a pleasure to come on and share in Spirit's conversation with each of you. I can't wait to come back around again. So thank you, Kay. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. All right. Have a good one. Bye.